Welcome. My name is Michael Mastro, and I'm with Transformational Vedic Astrology, which you can find online readings at vastucreations.com or our educational side that's at American Institute of Vastu.com, where you can learn Transformational Vedic Astrology and become certified. So today we're going to look at the chart for EdgarCayce, born March 18, 1877, rectified time of 1403 in Kentucky. And so if you look to the eastern horizon when EdgarCayce was born, you would see that Cancer is associated with the constellation that was rising on the eastern horizon at 16 degrees. Any planets within 5 degrees of that 16 have some impact in his life, and that becomes the 16 degrees becomes the most effective point or midpoint of every house. So in this type of astrology, we give great significance to multicona signs. So Venus, for example, rules Taurus and Libra, but it is more closely connected to Libra. So the multicona signs are 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11. And if you see those numbers, these represent the signs, not the houses. The houses is, now this is for sidereal zodiac, not Western tropical. So wherever you see those multicona signs in the houses, each of these houses represents some aspect of our life. So he came here to work on whatever you see in, wherever you see a multicona sign. So here, so first of all, first house, life purpose, longevity, health, body. So very focused on what he came here to do. You see Cancer ruled by Moon here in the first house. Then you see Leo in the second house ruled by Sun. So he came here to work on recognition, and then he was very much recognized for being a psychic, medical medium. Then you see the sixth sign of Virgo ruled by Mercury in the third house. So this house has to do with fine arts, performing arts, and healing arts. So he was a healer. And then you see the in the fourth house, you see Libra ruled by Venus. So happiness through home life. Came here to work on that, as well as the sixth house has to do with health and healing others. Became a big focus. You have Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, and then you have Aquarius ruled by Saturn. So he came here to work on the occult sciences, hypnosis, healing, etc. Then career, Aries ruled by Mars, and those are the focus points of his life. Now, any multicona sign that falls in the 6th, the 8th, or the 12th house, these are the challenging or called Dusthana houses, they become functional malefic. Now, that does not necessarily mean that will cause harm, only when they are within 5 degrees of another planet by conjunction or aspect, or if they are within 5 degrees, the most effective point, the rising sign degree, then they can afflict other houses. Otherwise, they're benign. So the rest of the planets are benefic, but that does not mean they always give good results. Depends again on how when they're operating in the transit chart, and whether they're afflicted in the natal chart by the functional malefic planets. So let's go through and see how the planets are operating, and then we're going to look at the timing of events when the planets are operating, and then third, we're going to look at what we can do to rectify or fix the chart. So first, Sun is at 6 degrees, and it is ruling, again, the second house of recognition, fame and recognition, which he had a lot of. He has an institute on the East Coast, Psychic Institute, and that he's well known for. And he was well known for being a medical medium, diagnosing health challenges through hypnosis. Now, Sun is placed in the house of good fortune, and it is ruling that house. So you got recognition through Sun is health and healing. And so it also represents father. And he had a teacher and teachers. So a teacher taught him how to do hypnosis. And so recognition through psychic healing of others. He did have an abusive father who would beat him because he couldn't spell. He was not good in school. But he found that if he fell asleep on his books, he would know everything in the books. So he proved that to his father. Moon is at 19 degrees. So it is afflicted by K2. And it gives him purpose. And now Moon is placed in the career house. So Moon is intuition. And he was, cancers are very emotional and intuitive. So his career had to do with his intuitive abilities to diagnose illnesses for people and what could be done to help those people. So Moon is working with other people basically as well. Now, Mars is ruling the career house, and it is placed in the house of health and healing. So career through healing other people. And Mercury is at 19 degrees, also close to the most effective point. It is afflicted by Saturn and Rahu. And so it gives his ability to analyze a medical condition. Mercury is about analyzing or researching the medical condition. And also, and then Jupiter is ruling, and in its own house, the house of health and healing. So it gave him ability to teach, Jupiter's teaching, educate others on their medical condition. And it also gave him some legal issues. They shut down his practice a few times. Venus is at 23 degrees. It is ruling the house of happiness through family and healing. Venus is healing arts, and it is placed in this house of things hidden from view, research, into healing modalities, basically. And Saturn is placed in its own house as well, the 8th house, having to do with transformation, things hidden from view, psychic, occult, things like that. Dream state. He was very much into dream state, analyzing dreams. In fact, he was one. In Vastu, we never recommend sleeping with your head to the north because your body's like a magnet. Positive polarities in your head, and north direction is the positive pole. So it causes you not to sleep as deeply, less REM state cycles, a shorter REM state. So it was much easier to, if you slept in the north direction, which he recommended, to wake up and write down your dreams, but it affected people's health. Rahu and Ketu. Rahu, desire for the occult. And so let's look at the timing of events. So he was born, his root of his tree of life he was born in a Venus Rahu period. So healing Venus, and Rahu is, again, this desire for the occult. Then he had a vision in 1986 during a Venus-Mercury period. Again, the psychic abilities. This is revealing things hidden from view, which is what a vision is. And then in 88, he had a near-death experience during a Sun Rahu period. Sun, again, became very famous for this near-death experience. Rahu, again, in the house of death-like experiences, and giving sudden tragedy. He got Sun is also ruling this house that has to do with the throat. He got laryngitis. Took quite some time to heal that from that near-death experience. In 2006, and another date, his workplace got burned to the ground. And those were during a Mars-Saturn period. Mars is property, fire, in the house of fire. And let's see here. Saturn, death-like experiences. Sun died during a Rahu-Jupiter period. Jupiter representing children, Rahu, unexpected events. Had a stroke and died in 1945 during a Saturn period. Saturn, death-like experiences, and representing longevity. Life cut short. If we look at the transit chart at that point, we can see there was quite a few things going on. So Saturn is at the most effective point in the house of end of life, and Saturn represent death-like experiences and longevity. Then you see Mars and Sun together. So Mars causing inflammation and Sun having to do with health and heart. And those, I think, are the main things. Oh yeah, Ketu is afflicting Moon. Moon representing the body. So all of that. So what could we do to strengthen this chart? So we would transform the malefics, Rahu and Saturn, by listening to Shiva chants and helping those who cannot help themselves. And Jupiter and K2 by listening to Shiva chants and helping spiritual organizations. And then strengthening the rest of the planets, which is Mercury, Venus, Sun, and Moon, and Mars, by wearing either the gems, red coral, diamond, blue sapphire, emerald, pearl, or by wearing a locket called the Kavash, which is a protective shield containing the Devata yantras for all those planets, much more economical, and don't have to worry about the quality of the gems and the size of the gems. So those are the main things. Yes. So again, thank you for listening. If you are interested in a Vedic astrology reading, you can go to www.vastucreations.com. If you're interested in learning about Vedic astrology, you can go to American Institute of Vastu.com, and then we also have a certification course. Thank you for listening.